Hey everybody, it's Peter B, and welcome to another edition of Tobacco Card Tuesday. I'm going to show you recent pickups, a few tobacco cards, and then some Hall of Famers. The first one we're looking at is a 1912 T207 Hugh Bradley of the Boston Red Sox. He was a backup catcher for a few seasons with the Sox. He also, in 1910, became part of a singing quartet of Red Sox players during the off season. They started doing shows in Boston, and they expanded to Philadelphia and other cities over the years. So part of the singing quartet of Red Sox players. Now, Hugh Bradley is in the history books as far as Red Sox fame. In April 26 of 1912, he is the very first person to hit a home run in the brand new Fenway Park. So that's pretty cool. He played 1913 in the minors, also still associated with the Red Sox. Then he jumped to the Federal League and played in the Federal League 1914 to 15. Then he was back in the minors from 1916 to 23. So he had a long career, half of it in the minors, half in the big leagues. And he was catcher. So here he is. Hugh Bradley, T207. Most of the T207s have Recruit. There are other brands, but Recruit is the most popular brand. So Hugh Bradley. I got another T207 Red Sox player, and that's Heine Wagner. Come into focus, Heine. Heine. Whoops. It's a little windy today. Let's see if we can keep these guys standing up straight. Heine Wagner was the shortstop for the Boston Red Sox from 1906 to 1918. He was on 4 Red Sox World Championship from the World Series teams of 1912, 15, 16, and 18. He was a very decent shortstop. And he played the same time as Honus Wagner. And many people that don't know much about baseball get them confused. They see a Wagner card and they assume it's Honus. Well, it's actually Heine, the Red Sox guy. And once again, Recruit back. So Heine Wagner, I'm going to put him right here. And the third one, once again, also a Red Sox. You can see a pattern developing, is Pinch Thomas. He also was mostly a backup catcher. He was on 3 World Series teams for the Red Sox, 1912, 15, and 16. He was traded to the Indians, and he was on the World Series champion 1920 Indians. Not as good as Hugh Bradley being a backup catcher, but he did have a few years in the big leagues. Once again, Recruit back. Pinch Thomas. Now, I'm going to show these 2 cards. these two cards I picked up from Eric at the Card Closet. He actually upgraded these two players, which made them duplicates. And I asked him if he wants to sell them, and he sold them to me for a very good price. So thank you, Eric. And I'm going to slowly go after the Red Sox team set. I have Smokey Joe Wood, but I still got to collect Hall of Famers Tris Speaker and Harry Hooper. And there's also Ed Saccott. So very slowly, but I would like to get the Red Sox team set. Now another. This is a 1910 E98 Philadelphia Caramel of Red Ames. He played with 4 teams from 1903 to 1919. Ames has the distinction of being one of the wildest pitchers in history. He had a wicked good curveball that if it stayed over the plate would most likely create a strike or an out. But the problem is, a lot of times, he, as well as his catcher, had no idea how far the ball is going to curve. He had a wicked curveball. But he did end up with a 183 and 167 record and a 2.63 ERA. I like this card. Nice red background, and I just like the pose. Rearing back with the ball in his hand and his glove, arm up in the air, ready to pivot downwards towards home plate. In case anyone's interested, it's a 1.5. And the back. Now, this is also a very special card to me because my friend Dan at Old Sarge Collects also upgraded his Red Ames card to a different one. So now he had 2 duplicates. I asked if he wanted to sell this one, and he gave it to me at a very, very good price. Now, Dan is a great guy. If you haven't subscribed to Old Sarge Collects, you should. He has an amazing collection of mostly pre-war cars, but he does have modern day cars, vintage cards. Definitely worth checking them out if you haven't. Dan at the channel Old Sarge Collects. Now, like I said, Dan did sell me this at a very good price. Thank you, Dan. But being a nice guy as he is, he also gave me this one. This is from the 1889 Kimball Ballet Queens set, and it's an N182. Fact that hasn't been put into his scrapbook. I love the fonts that they used up here. Now, Dan showed this on his channel a while back, and I commented that I really liked this card because I had a dog called Bella, who was my favorite dog, and she did pass away. And I also love it because of the patriotic dress she's wearing. I really admired this card. And little did I know, when Dan sent me this card, this was in the package as well. So I really appreciate it, Dan. Thank you very, very much. Beautiful card. And I will probably show it again for July 4th episode of Tobacco Card Tuesday. Now, I got some Hall of Famers. I'm trying to get the vintage and pre-war Hall of Famer, one of each playing this card. I don't know if I'll finish it. Definitely won't finish it when they played in the 1900s, but here is Stan Kovleski. This is a 1923 W572. Blank back. There was actually a Japanese card, and it was, hand drawn, and they put a Japanese face on him, and they called him someone else when they stole the image from this photo. So I added him to my Hall of Fame collection. Also added a Mickey Cochran 33 Gaudi. And that's the back. Also added a Jim Bottomley. I really like this pose. Jim was like Ken Griffey Jr. You see a lot of photos where Jr. has his hat on backwards. Well, Jim used to wear it tilted to the side. A lot of images with him wearing a hat like this. And I always loved this card with the blue background and him wearing the hat like he normally did. Jim Bottomley, another Hall of Famer to my collection. And here's a 53 Bowman. Nice image of Al Rosen. Real cool card. Added him to my Hall of Fame collection. 55 Tops. Hal Newhouser. And Lefty Gomez. I think this is the Gaudi wide pen collection. Really cool card. So those are the Hall of Famers I picked up. And I got a Japanese card. I put a little note in the thing here. It's a 1950 JCM 200 Menko, and it's Dogagi. Cool catches card. And there's the back. Another catcher pose. Cool card. I have a small Japanese collection. And finally, I got a couple of George Bretts for my George Brett collection. 2025. These are classic swings by Topps. Yes, it is a shiny card. And finally, another Topps, number 14 of 299. So 2 cards to go in my many cards of George Brett collection. So that's it. I gotta run off to work. I hope everyone out there has a terrific Tobacco Card Tuesday. Goodbye.